Hello guys, welcome back. In the last tutorial, we have talked about a list in which we have added 100 numbers and we have sorted all those values depending on the last digit of that number. Okay, now what next we'll do is let's remove all these values. Let's start fresh. So we have a main function. Let me remove all the imports. So how to remove all the inputs? You can just click here and say remove all unused imports, or you can use a keyboard shortcut which is Control Shift I. Now, once you do that, let's create a class and we'll name this class as student. Okay, and in the student class, let me have two values. One is roll number, and second will be, let's say, their marks. Okay, and to create object with values, we'll have one more we'll have a constructor which will accept two parameters. Again, you can do this in advanced directly with the help of right click, insert code. Then we can use constructor with both the values and generate. So it will take a constructor which will accept both the values. Here, what we can do is we can create a collection of students, which means I have to create a list of students. The type of the list will be student. Import the package. Okay, and we'll name this as studs equal to new. Now to use a class, we'll use add a list. A type of list will be student, and then let's add some students. So how to add students? We can simply say studs.add, and in bracket we can specify new student. So we'll say object of student, and we can pass values as 1 comma, let's say 55. So 1 is the roll number of a student and 55 is the marks. You can see it will call this constructor, it will assign the values. Okay, we'll add few more students. So we'll say let's add 5 students here. Roll number 2, roll number 3, roll number 4, and roll number 5. Marks, let's say 95, then 35, then it's 50, 45, and let's say it is 85. Okay, so we have 5 students and we have their name. Now what next we can do is we can simply just print all these values. Now to print a student, obviously somewhere here we require a toString method. It's because if you don't override a toString method here, it will use the default method of object class, which will print the class name with its hash code. What I want to print the details of a student, so I will use a toString method. Again, to do that, we can use something called a toString and generate. Now, so if I print toString, it will print the value which is this values. Okay, so let me just use a for loop to print the students. The type of student is student. We'll say s in studs, and then we can print s. So if I print s, it will print all the students. Let me run this code. And it should print all the 5 objects. And it's good. It's printing all the 5 objects, right? But what I want to do here, I want to print all these values in a in such a order that the highest marks will come first and the lowest marks will come last. That means we have to sort this stored collection in as highest marks to lowest marks. For that, again, we can use something called as Collections.sort. So as you know, we have to pass two things. One is studs, comma. Then we have to pass object of comparator. So we can use a lambda expression, and then we'll give a bracket open and close. Now here we'll say return. We need to return. Again, this will take two parameters. One will be s1. Let's say student1 and s2. So it should return s1 dot marks if this is greater than s2 dot marks. I'm missing something here. s2 dot marks, it should return a value which is -1 because we want to print in reverse order now, which means descending order, so we have to say -1. Otherwise, we should check s1 dot marks. If it is less than s2 dot marks, and then we'll say colon, it should print 1, otherwise it should print 0. So this question mark. Okay. So if you don't know what I'm doing, just go back to the previous video to clarify your doubts, and then we can simply run this. So it will print in a order. See, the highest marks is first and the lowest marks is last, right? So this is one way we can sort these elements. So this is the way we are using a comparator to sort students. Now in the next tutorial, we'll talk about how to compare, how to sort this by not using comparator, by using something else. And that something else is something called as comparable. And that we'll see in the next part.